Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. Friday, March 27th, getting this video started a little bit today. And there'll be a video up tonight, which I'm uploading right now, and there'll be a video on Sunday and nothing on Saturday. Let's start off here. So there's this guy named George Galloway. He's an Irish politician. He used to be in Parliament, and he's been one of the few pro-Palestinian people for a number of years. Like I saw some of his stuff 10 years ago or so when nobody was talking about this. The Irish have some kind of, there's a lot of Irish people that sympathize with the Palestinian people. And he says Netanyahu is dead. Thomas Paine claims Netanyahu's jet plane in Berlin for weeks and alleges that the recent appearances are AI generated, noting he has not seen publicly since then. Netanyahu's plane just landed in Berlin 2 weeks ago. No one has seen Bibi since. The jet is still there, and any of our appearances since the AI generated. Trump doesn't talk about him anymore. Do the basic math. All right, so, we'll see. But right now, it kind of doesn't look good for Netanyahu. Like, he has not had public appearances. Everything they've put out looks kind of like an AI video, or it could be an AI video. So there's that. Mike Huckabee, the traitor.
But where does that come from? There's a difference between dumb and ignorant. Dumb is that a person cannot process information. They just don't have the capacity. They don't have an operating system, if I put it in computer language.
Yeah, that's just what you say. It's dumb means whatever it means to different people, right? I mean, I think the literal definition was people who couldn't speak. But, all right. This isn't why we're talking about this, but I mean, he's just making shit up here.
Ignorance is that the data isn't there. What we're dealing with is not an operating system problem. It's a data problem. We have not downloaded the proper data, the true data into the minds of younger people.
We've not downloaded into their minds. We're going to have to start downloading pro-Israeli data into their minds, because that's just what a Christian would do.
And we've assumed that they're going to grow up intellectually curious and intellectually honest, and that they will look for themselves, but they're not.
They're not finding out. They're not agreeing with our perspective.
The problem. They're not looking. They're taking at face value what some podcaster says, and the result is absolutely dangerous.
It's dangerous for who? Not for them, right? Is it dangerous for the podcaster? Who's it dangerous for, bro? Israel? Is that who it's dangerous for? So, like, holy fuck, right? Okay, so this is supposed to be Denver. I don't know if it's true or not. It's getting away from my original. I have a bunch of things that are all kind of the same. It's kind of on board with it, but not. It's a little bit of a sideward alley here. But this kind of funny.
Trump murders children. The walk signal is on. Fuck Trump. The walk signal is on. Trump murders children. The walk signal is on. Fuck Trump. The walk signal is on. Trump murders children.
Okay, but you're saying the word fuck where kids can hear it. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it's funny. So Spain has turned on Israel, which we know from Trump. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's here. Residents of Spain's Barcelona, I think they spelled Barcelona wrong, are attacking those. It's not. It doesn't have a lot. I think is it Barcelona with an A? Are attacking those companies and shops who have deep links and ties to Israel, and demanding the expulsions of the Jews from the city. So I'm again not sure if this is true or not, but here they are. These guys throwing things at windows and whatever. So free Gaza. I mean, again, it's from somewhere, and they're wearing head coverings. So things are going south. Okay, so this is another statement from AI Bibi. Earlier today, I spoke with my friend, President Trump. President Trump believes there's an opportunity to leverage the enormous achievements we have made with the U.S. military to achieve the war goals in the agreement an agreement that will safeguard our vital interests.
לשמור על האינטרסים החיוניים שלנו. במקביל,
At the same time, we can continue to strike both in Iran and in Lebanon.
אנחנו ממשיכים לתקוף גם באיראן וגם בלבנון. אנחנו קודשים
We are crushing the missiles program, the nuclear program, and continuing to inflict severe blows to Hezbollah.
את תוכנית הטילים ותוכנית הגרעין עד דק וממשיכים לפגוע קשות בחיזבאללה. רק לפני ימים אחדים
Just days
חיסלנו
ago,
עוד שני מדענים
we limited 2 more nuclear scientists,
גרעין, והיד עוד
and the hand is still outstretched.
נטויה. אנחנו נשמור
We will safeguard our vital interest in any scenario.
על האינטרסים החיוניים שלנו בכל מצב.
You know, they're expanding their borders, right? I'm sure there's all kinds of AI tells in this thing. You know, like he's either going to show up or he's not, right? So, like, speculation is, you know, at this point, not important. But this fucking guy, right? So he's, you know, this is where he's at, right? This is what he's throwing down, his AI, whatever. And, you know, the vital interest is about expanding land. This has always been a land grab. Like, they, you know, it's basically kind of straight up admitting, I mean, he says stuff about nuclear scientists, but that's never been really what this is about, which everybody kind of knows at this point. So the Iran state media just released this Lego video. They have a Illuminati eye right here, the capstone of the pyramid, and Trump sitting in his bed, and they have a lot of these dolls that represent like little girls, right? You know, have Jeffrey Epstein stuff. So, I mean, they're already slaying into him here. Here he says, I can't really read this. It's just Strait of Hormuz stuff, you know, he's questioning the, I don't know why it's so blurry. And they're looking at, there's Netanyahu, who's all, you know, he seems to be in a hospital here, right? Like, in a coma or whatever. So this is this Iranian ship captain after it's just said that they've destroyed the Navy. The Iranian military fleets have been completely destroyed, Donald J. Trump. Look at mute this. Look, he's laughing like a demon. This guy's laughing because he's got something up his sleeve. Look at all their missiles and boats and stuff underground that Trump doesn't even fucking know about. Uh-oh. Trump's realizing Scully's got this little girl by his side. And this guy's putting mines down and all kinds of things. In the Strait of Hormuz with all these boats. And they're coming through with all these Legos. They got some kind of underground water facility here. And he says, don't strike yet. Wait till they're in the right position and we're going to torpedo them. So let's see what happens here. Boom. He launches this missile and they got him. They're getting them all. They got satellites up here. They've got satellite data. Strait of Hormuz. Let's see what it says here. The Strait of Hormuz was closed. He's laughing. They're going to get that fat fuck with this guy. In memory of Deanna. Target locked. Oh man, Jesus Christ, they're going to get me. And then he's going down. Trump's having nightmares. He's starting to sweat. Gas prices are up to 70. People are got the pumps in America. I can't believe how high gas prices are. And they're going to launch more shit as all these guys, they got fucking Lego boats coming. This guy's just going to straight up fucking, he's a robot boat. This guy's on a fucking, riding a rubber ducky. They're all praying to Muhammad there. Boom, here comes an eagle, American eagle. I would guess maybe the eagle's their thing, who knows. All right, here comes American troops. And there's all these mines that they're going to hit. They're coming in to get troops here. So, I don't know if Iranian media put this out, but, it looks like something that would have come from them. There was years ago, there was this excellent truther video put out by North Korea. I mean, Russia Today is okay. They had some stuff, but this was put out by North Korea, and they were just rocking it, right? They just nailed it. I don't know. This is by 10, 15 years ago. But they just nailed the whole American Hollywood and all this stuff. It was pretty brutal. So, there goes the oil. Mushroom cloud. These guys are floating with the rubber duckies and all these American dead bodies. All right, so, So somebody sent me this image. I'm not sure, but in 2026, and people really believe a plane took down the towers. Wild. After a plane hits a bird, after a plane hits a fire truck, which we all saw, after a plane hits an engineering marvel made of solid steel beams. That was part of the talking points. Those towers were a architectural marvel, right? They were just, then they list all the stuff that was in there. And, my thing is it was a nuke. And I've talked about that. You can go watch my videos on the Apocalypse Now channel, my other channel. But, planes are made out of aluminum. They're made light because, and going through a 5-foot cement wall at the Pentagon that was, that plane, like, just silly. Okay, so YouTube had stopped recommending videos for Candace Owens, but I made the mistake. Well, they recommended a few because I clicked on one of them. And then, But I realized that she's still doing, this war has been going on for a while, and she started this onslaught of videos before the war had started. So we're already at 27th of March, so we're like 4 weeks into this war. And Candace Owens still making shit about Erica Kirk. Viral, it's okay it's okay not to believe a word Erica Kirk says. Who's lying, Frank Turek, Erica Kirk, or Elizabeth McCoy? Revealed Erica Kirk went to a weird place at 9:10. Again, she's losing viewers, right? Her viewers are slipping away. Explosive TPUS gay accuses Kent of leaking to harm Erica. Bride of Red Sparrow, Part 8. She's got 2 million views there. Humiliating Trump loses a war hero. Erica Kirk loses Arkansas. World War Bibi betrays Trump, America, and Charlie Kirk. Exclusive footage, so you see these are going on forever. I don't know why I'm reading the title. And so this is when it started way back when, right? Like, holy shit, she's been making videos for well over, like, I don't know, months on Erica Kirk. And I said all along that she, that she hated that bitch, right? Like, they didn't like each other. You could tell by the fact that neither one of them talked about each other after Charlie died. Like, she talked about Erica and praised her for her bullshit eulogy, which I knew she was lying, and a couple other times she mentioned Erica in a way like, kind of shitting on her sideways, but not, she wasn't ready to go after a grieving widow. But at some point you got to realize it's over, because you've made all these videos and nothing's changed, right? You've made all these videos, and she pretends her videos have an effect. All these people, Tucker Carlson, the rest of them. Like, Tucker Carlson put out a video, I got to go find it. I saw it on my phone. I didn't click on it. That he's been threatened, right? These videos don't go anywhere. They're just videos. Like, there's information that goes out there, and it affects the collective consciousness. It affects the manifestation of what's going on in the world. So, yeah, there can be some effects. But in terms of changing the beastly system, that's years away, and that's changing itself we don't have to do anything, right? Okay, Saturday, March 28th, Saturday morning. Birds are singing. Nice day out there, a little bit chilly right now, but still. I had some issues yesterday. That's why my video got uploaded so late. I have slow upload speeds, and there was a copyright issue, and it was a whole thing. Anyways, my children have suffered shaming. My children have suffered shaming and violence simply because they are the children of the Prime Minister. We must condemn personal attacks on children in any setting. Sarah Netanyahu. The bare minimum amount of kids that died in Palestine is 20,000, right? Just, killing one kid, killing one person, like innocent person. But it's not that, because there's 2 million people there, and they devastated the whole place. It's 2 million people, whose lives are basically ravaged. Like all those kids who grew up in that time, they're traumatized for life. They're fucked. They're like completely, like when you blow up every building. How are the people living there now, right? And, I'm going to get into this great comment from like a Trumper, which I'll get into later, which I want to address. With CNN I turned on CNN last night, and they were doing a kind of a hit piece on the IDF and Israel, and some CIA, some CNN reporters got detained. Even CNN gets it, right? But it's pretty well known now that Netanyahu committed a genocide, because it's, whatever happened to those people, they're just never the same, right? Their culture stripped from them. Their lands, they can't live there. They blew up every fucking building. And it's 2 million people. So I would think that at least a third to a half of them are already dead. But the ones who are alive are fucked. Like, it's not even, they're maybe worse off, right? What kind of life can they live? They have no infrastructure. They have no water and internet, no electricity. They have nothing. They've been completely obliterated, right? This is really obliteration, where they went in and destroyed every building. And so, the more people that are there, the more that they're going to, they're starving, because it's, the resources are not there for them. And the ones that are there are fucked. So for her to say this, right? It's incredibly, just tone deaf. So Tiger Woods got a DUI, I guess last night. Tiger's looking pretty rough there. J.D. Vance intense call with Benjamin Netanyahu as he rips Israel's PM for easily selling easy war to Trump. Fuck you talking about? Like, they're trying to save J.D. Vance's, whatever, but he's fucked. He's going down with Trump, and he should. He's not likable. I don't think he's electable anyway. I don't know why Trump picked him. I think I didn't realize that. I didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was, but Charlie Kirk had a big influence on him. But, Jesus fucking Christ. He's an adult. It's just like that girl who fucking, his parents let their toddler be on the internet, and somehow she got addicted to it, right? And now she's getting $6 million. J.D. Vance confronted Benjamin Netanyahu in an intense phone call, accusing the Israeli leader of being overly optimistic about the changes of regime change in Iran. Fucking, it's silly. You don't have an intelligence community. You have to rely. You listen to Israel. Trump didn't want to do this war from the fucking beginning. Israel pressured him into it, and it's because they have shit on him. And this is fucking silly. It's just silly. If it's worse that Trump. You don't elect a leader who says he's America first to get bulldogged by a foreign country that's smaller than your country, that's 100% dependent on your country in a parasitic way. You could have said, fuck you to Netanyahu. We're going to cut off all financial aid, and we're going to withdraw our fucking military forces and let you fight it out with the people that hate you all around you. But he did this instead. And to make it somehow this is Netanyahu's fault, Trump didn't have to listen to him. And he didn't. This was, he bulldogged him into it, right? This is not anything other than that. So this happened.
Thank you, Caroline. I was wondering if you would respond to some of this criticism of the administration from past allies like Joe Kent, who have said that the president's red line shifted from Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon to Iran cannot pursue nuclear enrichment. What is the administration's response to that criticism?
I think
Her face is so fucked. Like she's not even a human being anymore.
the president and I have both strongly responded to the criticism by Mr. Kent, who unfortunately resigned in disgrace and accused.
Wait, he resigned in disgrace? You mean you guys made him resign? Because he resigned based in, like you're saying he resigned in disgrace, like he was disgraced and then Trump made him resign. But none of that shit happened. He wrote a letter and he fucking resigned. And in that letter, he went on all these shows and his shit all over the Trump administration and the decision making. He's still kissing Trump's ass because he's a piece of shit. People asked me about this Dr. Jang, and so I responded to it. And one of the things I left out in what I was should be talking about is that if they put you in the show, and being on Tucker Carlson's a part of the show, like if you're part of the mainstream dialogue, right? You're a part of the any of these big time places to go. If they put you in the show, you're controlled in some way, right? And more importantly, if you're not aware of either you're denying it or you're lying to the people or you just don't get it, that the system can't be saved. When even at least just like with the Trump assassination attempt, you should be putting it out there that might be the case. Like you're not sure about it. Like I'm sure about it. Like the system and it shouldn't be saved. Like if you haven't seen enough of this system and you haven't seen enough of we have a people problem. You're pretending like we're good people and we're fucking, we're even all of us and everybody who's not a part of the system and the beast is okay, but it's just that these controllers and these people at the top, it's everybody, right? We're not the way we should be. We're not natural people. We're dependent on a demonic system and it's affected us, right? And so because of all those things, if you're not aware of those things, and you're not at least hinting at it to people, like putting it out as a possibility, you don't have to go all in. But, if you're pretending that there's some way to save the system, then you're just full of shit, right? And that's the majority of the truth community. The people who bought into that Trump was somehow going to do it when it was clear that he wasn't, right? That's why they went along with the bullshit, ketchup gate and all that other stuff.
The president who unfortunately resigned in disgrace and accused the president of basically being controlled by foreign countries and foreign manipulation, which is a ridiculous and laughable assertion.
So I've had this up for 3 days, and that article I just showed you with J.D. Vance blaming Netanyahu for puppeting Trump, right? And so, like, it's always mixed messages with these guys, right? Like, it's either Netanyahu's fault, and it seems like pretty much we still haven't seen the guy in like 3 weeks, and there's lots of indication that he's no longer with us. But he's blaming Netanyahu and Israel, and then she comes out with this, right? It's like they just throw shit against the wall constantly, opposing stuff, right?
Accusations have zero credibility as far as this White House is concerned.
The question of the red line shifting from no nuclear weapon to no nuclear enrichment, is there any substance to that argument?
I think the president has been quite clear in what he wants to see from the Iranian regime, which is why he chose to launch Operation Epic Fury in the first place.
Yeah, I know. So, okay. So it's on him. There's no blaming Netanyahu, right, bitch? Right. All right. So, the lies here.
From the outset, President Trump and the Department of War estimated it would take approximately 4 to 6 weeks to achieve this critical mission. 25 days in, the greatest military the world has ever known is ahead of schedule and performing exceptionally. Day by day, the Iranian regime is being crippled, and their ability to threaten the United States and our...
What do you mean? Like he said, it was crippled day one. When was it crippled? Is it crippled now? Was it crippled then? Was it crippled, day 2, day 5? It gets more crippled every day.
Our allies is being significantly weakened. Their ambitions of building a nuclear weapon have also been crushed to an even greater degree.
It's even more obliterated. It's like more obliterated than before. It's like double obliterated. It was obliterated, then they obliterated the obliterated. And now they're trying to obliterate what's obliterated. The dust, they're taking the dust that's whatever the obliteration is. We turned it into obliteration. And now they're going to obliterate that. Like, they keep on obliterating more and more, right? Right? How much obliteration can one country take?
Than they were in Operation Midnight Hammer in June 2025. That's why you're beginning to see the regime look for an exit ramp.
Exit ramp.
Recognize they are being crushed, their ability to attack American and ally forces, as well as their ability to defend their own territory is dwindling literally hour by hour. Following President Trump's powerful threat on Saturday evening, it was made clear to the United States that Iran wanted to talk. President Trump is willing to listen. As President Trump announced on Monday,
Okay, so when you've destroyed the regime and you destroyed it's obliterated, and there's like no real government left, according to you, then who is he talking to? Like, because there's no, that person doesn't have the authority. You can talk to anybody in Iran. They say, yeah, we give up. We'll give you everything you want. Stop bombing us. But it's just like somebody with no authority. It's not every, the 100 million people aren't agreeing to that, right? And so, like they don't have a government, right? So you go in there, you put in a puppet government. We saw what happened with the Shah of Iran. That's not going to work out, like, all that stuff. This is not over. Like, they were saying, fuck you. There's another Lego movie out. They're cranking out the Lego movies. I'll show you a little bit about that.
The United States has been engaged over the last 3 days in productive conversations, which led the president to temporarily instruct the Department of War to postpone planned strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure.
Yeah, that's to the people. Look at that. She's like, there's just something wrong with her fucking face. Like, she's like in her 20s still, and she's just mutilated her face. Like, you could have waited till you're in your 40s, right? You didn't have to fucking go in all in.
Only. The remaining elements of the Iranian regime have another opportunity to cooperate with President Trump, permanently abandon their nuclear ambitions, and cease act.
All right, so that's the fake Christian Barbie truther. So, they got so Iranian, I guess this is Iran releasing these Lego things, and these guys are both sweating bullets. They got they're trying to deal with the devils here. I don't know what this devil is. It's got a Star of David on his fucking forehead. That guy's laughing. And then they're all, look at them, they're sweating bullets. Victory Chronicles. They write a letter saying, you guys want a ceasefire, and these guys are like, fuck you, and they rip it up. And then they're like, in memory of the girls of the Mimba school. They're putting this in English, so they want this to go out to American kids, I think, and they're releasing these missiles. And boom, look at, he's begging Trump for something. And then they have all these, cluster missiles. And they're hitting U.S. depots, fuel tanks. And then, look at, there's more coffins here. Or is it more coffins? They're big on the coffins. There's this big Israeli flag here. They're hitting these guys, wiping out their batteries. And then, more of this bullshit here going on. Like here, they're hitting Citibank. And they're hitting UAE, and there's all these ghosts going. They're hitting these various countries. It's destruction, all the things. They're hitting this German cruiser here. And it's closing the Strait of Hormuz. And then all the coffins here. They're big on the coffins, and they're putting this up on the top so President Trump can walk in. He's going in here, and they're getting, all these American fighters are coming out there. And then here, this guy's pretty happy. They're kicking ass, and then they have the coffin, and Trump comes out and hits victory. And they turn around, he's sweating, putting up a victory sign, and his ass is on fire. Trump's, I am a loser. So that's classic. That's so Iran. Let's get that again. Watch it again here. Boom. All right. So they had CPAC, and the Trumpers are starting to undumb fuck themselves, just like the unobliterate. Some of them are double dumb fucking, but like, but not all of them, because this happened.
I know we kept you up late. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings?
Woo!
That was the wrong answer.
No, it's not the wrong answer. You asked them a question, they gave you their answer.
Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the CPAC?
I know.
You think it's because they're tired? They're turning on Trump. You think coffee's going to solve the fucking problem? They're fucking, so that happened. Okay, so I don't know who Drewski is. Whatever. Men dressing up as women is not funny. Like, hasn't been funny in years. It's overdone. There's that whole thing where Dave Chappelle said they were trying to get black comedians or black actors or famous black people, to sometimes athletes, to put on a dress to emasculate them, right? And, he went on Oprah and said it, but that was after it came out that he did that for, I think, for some Mel Brooks piece of shit movie. He was dressed up. He dressed up like a woman. But I looked into it, and it was also white male actors, like A-list actors. George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, the list goes on and on, like all these guys, right? And I made a video, A-list actors in drag for whatever, right? So I can't remember the name of it. It got hundreds of thousands of views. It was a follow-up to my Michelle Obama video. And, you can look into it. Almost every actor has to put on a dress. It's like a big thing. It's some kind of rite of passage. It's a Freemasonic thing. And then, of course, what happened afterwards with Caitlyn Jenner and all that shit, right? So, Candace Owens was against that. So was most people. But if it's Erica Kirk, it's somehow funny. And Candace Owens, watch her here. Drewski. She's laughing. What's funny about that? That's not funny. Like, it's, it's mocking Erica Kirk, which is great. It's, she's mockable, but it's not funny, right?
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
Yeah, so throwing up the devil's horns. But, like, she's fake laughing. It's not funny. Like, it's, all right, yeah. When this first came out, like, it's kind of, people are getting into Erica Kirk a little bit. But now Erica Kirk's just in hiding. I'll go to her Instagram. We haven't checked in on her for a while.
The kids that died when the USA hit the towers.
It broke my heart. That is
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers.
I get it, but it's not funny, right? Like, that's the thing, that they've done better memes with this, with that music, when doing it with her. It's like look at her laugh. She's so obsessed with Erica, right? Like, it's embarrassing at this point. Like, fucking, we all see it.
We are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
All right, so, like, look at her. It's not funny. Like, it's just not. It's just. And what's the only thing funny is how much Candace Owens hates Erica Kirk. Like, she's made, like I said, like 30, 40 videos on it. And, she's been leading up. And she just couldn't come all out. Like, and it took a while for her to really, this was always about Erica. Okay, so this is Erica Kirk's Instagram page. And then she's posted this. I forget she shared this turning point thing where he's introducing Erica Kirk here. And the person wrote Epstein like 1,000 times to her, 100 times. She's so brave for leaving on the comments, LOL. Candace Owens. And this more Candace Owens. So she's getting lit up on her own thing. Here she is here.
Too of, well, you were a stay-at-home mom and all this stuff, like, that's what you should go back to doing or something like that. A lot of people don't realize that before I met Charlie, I had my own company, and I still do, And it was...
It's just a legendary company. It's making, I mean, you know, hundreds of dollars.
one of those things where I built it in a way where that when I got married and had children, it could run on its own. I didn't have to do day to day.
This person, Drewski broth me here.
I could check in, but I didn't have to do day to day. And that's the beautiful thing is like young women in here.
Okay, that's that.
Can you talk a little bit about the pageants, and was that a good experience for you or not?
We talked about this. It was one of those moments where I really understood what it meant to just fall to the ground and tear your clothes and just say, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I don't want the fake, the fame that comes with it. I don't want the pride. Oh my gosh, I don't want...
You mean the fake? You don't want the fake? Your real house is fake.
The pride. I don't want... I just prayed. I said, Lord, just strip all of this away from me. Take all of it. Finally, where I was starting to feel like I was healing from just being torn from who I thought I was supposed to be, from who God was trying to have me become. And it was just this weird tug of war. And
you mean like you're better now than when you were in the pageants?
She just looked at me and she's like, you can no longer chase paper and glitter. She was like, the road of righteousness will always wind upward, and that's the road that you're going to have to be on. And for me, I never compromised after that. And
you mean she? Like, who was she? Are you talking about God? She said she said this.
So even to this day, it doesn't matter what, you know, people, it's funny, people will come up to me when they see Charlie taking photos on stage and they say, doesn't that bother you? Or is it weird that they ask for his photo or his autograph? And I'm like, no, that's...
This is some long old video, I guess. They've put out here. She's got a whole bunch of shit here. And she's getting hammered in the comments. So I don't know what's happening with there. Getting married. Boom. Have children. Boom. Build a legacy. Boom. Murder your husband. Pass down your values. Boom. Pursue the eternal. Boom. Murder your husband. Seek joy. Boom. Throw hats out to the audience and merch up. Do fake videos with your fake kids. Kiss your fake wife. Get married. Murder your husband. Take over his company and run it into the ground. All right. And then this one here.
Kirk, what do you want to say today?
Well, we are going to be reading the Bible today. Do you want to say anything about Jesus?
I love Jesus.
She does love Jesus.
I love Jesus.
He loves his Jesus.
Oh, I love Jesus. In the world, I love Jesus. Jesus.
Amen.
Hey, I'm Kiki Kirk. What do you want to say today?
I'm Kiki Kirk. Wow, is that a real voice? Is that Erica Kirk doing a kid's voice? That's so fucking creepy and weird. All right, so that's Erica Kirkland. That's what she's pushed. She's, I don't know, she's lost her shit, so. I got a whole bunch of, I haven't checked my Instagram comments now in a while. I have to go do that. Okay, I think this is Sean Ryan, and he has Joe Kent on. And I was looking for this video for CNN. I saw this one earlier. This one's entitled, Why a Kharg Island Invasion Would Be a Disaster. And I just saw one I was looking for this video from CNN that I saw today, and Iran is striking the shit out of, and the Houthis are striking the shit out of Israel and these other countries. They're not running out of missiles. And it seems like Israel's not firing back, like Israel's Iron Dome is shot. They're going to expect us to replenish that shit, right? And like it's they're depleted, and Iran seems to be going strong, and I bet they start getting fed shit from Russia and China. And so I saw where Trump is planning to invade some of these islands. And this is what Joe Kent said about that.
You know, I want to bring out this up. You had a really good article in the Washington Post. I think it released today. But you were talking about some strategy here, and that made me think the potential deployment of U.S. ground troops makes me very nervous
Yeah.
citing recent reporting that the president is considering seizing Karg Island, Iran's main hub for oil exports. This is you quoted. I just think that would be a disaster, Kent said of deploying U.S. troops there. It would essentially be giving Iran a bunch of hostages on an island that they could barrage with drones and missiles. Are you the only fucking person up there that's thinking straight? Because that's exactly what would happen. You're putting U.S. service members in a fishbowl for Iran to kill because they're stranded on a fucking island.
Yeah, I mean
this is our strategy.
Yeah,
who came up with this fucking strategy?
It sounds like
Trump.
It sounds like Lindsey Graham. I mean, Lindsey Graham was on the Sunday shows yesterday talking about how great it would be. It would be just like Iwo Jima. I mean, just insanity. And I mean, I don't think the people who are pragmatic and are expressing their concerns, I don't believe they're being listened to. Now, obviously,
no, because he's being told what to do by Israel. So let me go to CNN now.
President Trump is weighing several options that could result in heavy U.S. casualties. It's a heavy sentence to say, but that's the reality. And according to Axios, on top of invading Karg Island, a move that Trump, of course, we've pointed out, has talked about since 1988, the Pentagon is also drawing up scenarios that involve military action on several other Iranian islands. Those islands key to Iran's oil production, as well as control over the Strait of Hormuz itself. Axios is now reporting specifically on some other possible invasions, and I know Seth had spent time talking about 2 other islands closer to the Strait of Hormuz, and also seizing the Iranian ships that are carrying Iranian oil, even as they've taken away the sanctions that would allow Iran to sell that oil. But being contradictory doesn't stop them. Does it sound to you?
No, I don't. Karg Island is, I guess, essential to their oil production. But Iran has already thought about these things, right? And they're prepared for that shit. And this is the Strait of Hormuz, which he really needs to do. They're fucked, right? Trump is fucked. Like, you can tell he's fucked. He knows he's fucked. Israel's not allowing him to be unfucked, right? And I mean, this is fucking bad. Christ.
That we're on the verge of a potentially dramatic escalation.
It does, Aaron. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but the likelihood has increased that it will happen.
It's going to happen. There's going to be ground troops on there because Netanyahu wants it.
And what we're looking at is the increase in the force posture by the U.S. forces. The fact that not only do we have about 50,000 troops in the region right now, but we are also getting more. We're getting more airplanes, more Air Force squadrons are coming in, fighter squadrons are coming in. We have, of course, the 2 MEUs that are, one is basically there already and the other one is approaching. And then you also have, of course, the 82nd Airborne. So all of those elements are critical elements for America's firepower in general, and they don't make deployments like this just to have an exercise. This is a demonstration of force that could easily be used for action.
All right, so, see, I don't think the Iranians give a shit now that this thing's happened, right? I think that, they tried to not fight this war for years, but knew that eventually it was going to happen, and it's going to keep on happening, right? So unless they can take America down economically, help, lead to America's economic collapse and get rid of Israel as best they can and, turn the world against Israel and America, that's their only option, right? And really just not be defeated. And as long as they have some kind of regime in place, America's fucked, right? And so is Israel. And so it was a bad move in the beginning, and it was a apocalyptic move, and something that's being done beyond Trump's ability to even reason, or what anybody can reason on why this is being done. It's to take America down, right? Not just from the people who control the system, but from the divine beings that oversee everything. Like, America has to go down. The world economy, there's going to have to be drastic changes, right? Okay, so let's wrap this up by checking in with Palm Beach Pete. There might be stuff that happens today anyway, on Saturday before tomorrow. But this is Palm Beach Pete. There's 2 Palm Beach Petes here. This one and this one. You all discover copy and paste called in evidence Now I'm split screen famous. Relax, it's just Pete. So there's two different ones here. He's got two different check mark accounts, and this is him. He's living Palm Beach living. Now, first of all, Palm Beach, Florida is just full of rich, pretentious piece of shit, right? It's where Trump's Mar-a-Lago is, and Jeffrey Epstein lived, right? You know, it's a place where these, you know, rich fucking pieces of shit hang out and live. I mean, it's a beautiful place. You know, it's my grandparents and then later my parents all moved to Boca Raton, Florida. So my whole life I've had a relationship with Florida. Went down there a lot. Boca Raton is not as, you know, pretentious and rich as Palm Beach, but there's a lot of, you know, shitty people there, right? You know, retired people. And, you know, in Palm Beach, you know, celebrating Palm Beach is like celebrating Beverly Hills or, you know, Manhattan or whatever, you know, these Gold Coast places. You know, you don't really, I mean, it's something that people brag about to, you know, people who are upward climbing, but not, you know, it's not something to brag about to everybody else. It's like, fuck you, I live in Palm Beach, right? So like saying you're Palm Beach Pete, look at him dance. Like, that's totally not Jeffrey Epstein. Like, he's dancing and shit. And, you know, let's go to the next thing here.
To Palm Beach Pete, who is standing by. Hi, Pete. Hey, Jimmy. I were to point at, let's say Jeffrey Epstein was still alive, and I were to point at him, and then I were to point at you. Those fingers would be pointing in totally different directions, right?
No, I'm the better looking guy.
Yeah, look at Palm Beach Pete. The guy is milking every minute of this thing. I mean, that's just in itself, that's a crime, right? To be, you know, loving life as a famous person now because you look like Jeffrey Epstein. Like, holy shit.
You are. Do people actually mistake you for him?
They give me the double look, but now that I've gone viral, Jimmy, it's nonstop. They want to take pictures of me, my autograph, but as Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Epstein. I'm just Palm Beach Pete living my life.
Just living his best life. Whoa, look at that $1 million Palm Beach Jeffrey Epstein smile. Looks like he's hiding his rope burn right here. All right, so here it is again.
Now he's at Suche Beachy in North Beach in Miami Beach, and I had a delicious meal with old friends, and we had the best night.
You know, he's like equally creepy and annoying. If he's not Jeffrey Epstein, which that's up for debate. If he's not Jeffrey Epstein, he's certainly quite creepy. Look at him. He's Palm Beach Pete. My friend helped me make this, show you guys some photos of me in the 90s. So just so you know, look. I mean, he's always been a twit. Look at this fuck guy. Right here. It's Palm Beach Pete. What were you like in the 90s? I don't know. Look at me not being Jeffrey Epstein. Look at me at somebody's fucking wedding not being Jeffrey Epstein. Look at me doing that. Look at me with my mouth open not being Jeffrey Epstein. Look at me by being out in Asia. Look at me partying. I'm just a fun, happy guy. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach fucking Pete. Here, he's got again. Again, what are you saying here? Is this...
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg. It's Palm Beach Pete. I just wanted to set the record straight that I went to Instagram to let people know that I am nothing to do with Jeff Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete, and just wanted to spread positive vibes.
I'm positive vibes, Palm Beach Pete, not negative vibes like Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't understand why you deplatformed me. I had a lot of followers, and I was just trying to do good stuff. And I hear
deplatform.
You're moving to Florida. Maybe we could hang out. All the best.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Let's hang out with Zuckerberg and all the fucking all the other pedos. Look at this guy. What's up with Palm Beach Pete? Fucking Palm Beach Pete, bro. What's up, Palm Beach Pete? Are you okay, bro? Okay, Palm Beach Pete. All right, so he just keeps on.
Palm Beach Pete from sunny Florida, not a cloud in the sky. I'm off to play some tennis. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein.
He's just not. He's not Jeffrey Epstein. I mean.
Palm Beach Pete, I want to thank all my followers. This thing has gone crazy viral. Over 100,000 plus followers in less than 2 days. Have a great day.
Yeah, so because I look like Jeffrey Epstein, like that's just not something you know, you've said it once. You don't need to say it every time you appear. I'm not, every time you appear, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. Every fucking video, Palm Beach Pete. All right, there's the original one. So that was that one. But here, he has another one. I'm not Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. And then he's got all these things here. So he's got a second account. Epstein looked different, spoke differently, and acted differently. Palm Beach Pete is definitely not Jeffrey Epstein. This is an Epstein survivor. Why is she weighing in on that? So here he is. So there he is with Jeff. There's Jeffrey Epstein. You know, you look a lot like it's like at least you're like some kind of offshoot or clone, or you're cut from the same cloth. All right, so he's got these various things. So he's got two accounts.
Commercial real estate. I love to play tennis. I'm very social. I'm not going to change. This guy is dead, and he was a really bad person.
And I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I just look like him, and I'm trying to soak up as much fame as possible because I'm a really good person. So yeah, it's just fucking weird. So I mean, just you're not making you're carving off your own little way like hatred from people, provoking people to dislike you. Aside from you looking like Jeffrey Epstein, it's not bad enough like me. Let's roll them. Okay, so I had like 20-something, 30 in-school messages. Some people sent me multiple messages, and I couldn't even scroll through all of them. And it was funny because I got so many messages of the Drewski video. I'm just not impressed with Drewski. The first time he did it, whatever. But, now it's just played out. The Erica Kirk thing's played out. She's got her fans and followers and people who they're never going to leave her. Speaking of which, I got a great comment to get to here. So, I get about 1 or 2% of the comments post on my phone. And this was one of them that I got this morning. And the person says, well, the title of my video is Depressed Beaten Trump Implodes, Terminates NATO, Calls Dyslexia a Mental Illness. The person wrote, your title is BS. It's bullshit with 5 exclamation points. You want to be read, be noticed, ? Then be truthful and factual. We don't care about your opinion. Who is we? The dumb fuck Trumpers? Because that's not you're not my audience. When Trump first came out, nobody knew exactly what he was going to be like as president. And I said this even this time, Trump's all over the place. Trump says conflicting things that are, not sort of middle of the road things, but they're extreme. He'll go from one extreme to another. And he just talks shit. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he doesn't know what can be done and what can't be done. And he's just bullshit and exaggerating all the fucking time. And this goes back to The Apprentice and, always just, he's a grifter. And so he doesn't have a dogma. He doesn't have a belief system. He doesn't have a set character. And so you really don't know what you're going to get from the guy. I'm sure they've learned how to handle him. I know they've learned how to handle him because of the way he's doing what he's doing. But, in terms of the things that he gets to choose to do, you don't know. It's just arbitrary. He's very impulsive, very thin-skinned, very egocentric, very insecure. And so, no one knew what he was going to be like in the beginning, his first term. And he, was okay. Like, he did an okay job. And he was funny, and it was great. And he pissed off the liberals, and he wasn't acting presidential. But, he had promised things like, oh, I'll use nuclear weapons. Like, he said shit like that when he was campaigning, right? And so no one really knew what he was going to do because he'd said so many conflicting things. And it's just like all the things I just said about him. And so when he got worked at the end of his presidency, it was very clear that he was played out. Like, it was kind of interesting. Just like Jesse the Body Ventura being governor. It was kind of a novelty. shot at the crappy controlled system. A guy who's supposed to be an outsider but really isn't. So it was really, Trump should have went away. But the desperate dumbfuck Trumpers, and they were a lot of them, the QBs were pretty fucked up after the election went down, and they were pissed off at him, but there just wasn't an alternative to him. And so they doubled back down, especially after 4 years of Joe Biden. And by that time, everyone should have known Trump was a piece of shit. Operation Warp Speed, the Epstein stuff. I mean, he was clearly, it came out later, but he was always implicated in that. Just who he was as a person and how selfish he was. He displayed himself, and everybody should have known. And we should have been over it. Like, just have been like, go somewhere else. Like Kamala Harris. Like, the Democrats want no part of Kamala Harris. But these desperate dumbfuck Republicans, Trumpers, MAGAs, they just don't have anything else. And they're so desperate, right? So they went for him again. And it was pretty obvious. And, of course, the Operation, not Operation, but Ketchup Gate and Band-Aid Gate and all that stuff with the fake assassination and all the shit that he did. It was clear that he was going to be a disaster this term. And just the way America was, where we are. And so, it was pretty obvious. But then we still didn't know what he was going to do, right? Like I said that right when he got elected because of just all the things I said earlier. Like, you'll never know with Trump. And, he's always going to do what Israel wants. But, other than that, he's not very predictable. Even to himself. Like, he doesn't know. And so he's the worst possible version. The ones the Democrats dreamed he would be this bad. The Democrats are like, drooling on themselves that he's so fucking bad. Like, this is their wet fucking dream, right? They wished he was going to be this bad. Like, he's totally tyrannical. He's totally a fucking dictator from day one. All the shit he's pulled, a total fucking nightmare. And he's just, just a disaster. And all the things that he's doing are clearly a disaster. And the Epstein stuff that came, out, the way his administration's a bunch of dumb fucks, stepping on each other, fucking stepping in shit all the time. They're just horrible. All narcissistic and fucking, remedial and ass kissing. I mean, the Elon Musk things, he's had people turn on him, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and I guess even now Tucker Carlson and all these people. Are all going after him. His way he's been played by Israel. And just so many things. It's so fucking obvious. And to these people who don't get it now, like, they're worthless. I mean, they don't have a pulse. They have no fucking life. They have no consciousness. They have no ability to think for themselves. And so, I don't want those people here. And they don't belong here. I don't make videos for those people. Your title is BS. You want to read, be noticed, ? Then be truthful and factual. We don't care about your opinion. Well, you guys don't have an opinion. And when you mean truthful and factual, you mean things that you believe that are just complete bullshit and everybody knows it but you're so fucking embarrassed. I mean, you're so embarrassing, right? You're so fucked in the head. Like, it's not, yeah. Because he is depressed and he's beaten and you don't even fucking know it, right? And so there's that. One more thing I want to add to this, I went out, picked up some stuff at Home Depot. I was driving and I got the wrong thing here. And, there's Chick-fil-A. They're closed on Sunday. And there was a line into the fucking road. And I was in the right lane and I was trying to get around the people so I could get back in the right lane and take a right turn. And there was fucking people in the road. People couldn't get out of Chick-fil-A. And there were people going around me to get in line and blocking a second lane. And I was like, holy shit, right? Like, and it's like there's like 28 fucking chemicals or something in Chick-fil-A. Some of the things are addictive. They're just, people think that they're Christian, so they're, but there's that. So your title is BS. You want to be read, be noticed, then be truthful and factual. We don't care about your opinion. That what that person is saying is the same shit Trump says, that only they matter, and they don't matter at all. They're the people who matter least. They're people who don't have the ability to realize they've been duped, and they can't recognize a fucking grifter. someone who is the opposite of what they want and what they think about and what they need. Everything about him is wrong, right, for them. And, and even after so much evidence, they can't reverse their course. They're the most worthless type of people in the world. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're right or left. It's a matter of not being able to fucking, change, right, and adapt, and just, be arrogant and stupid. Anyways, so there was that. Okay, so I just looked through the rest of the comments, and there's nothing there, so I'm going to wrap this video up. This will be going up tomorrow morning, Sunday. The video again Tuesday, Monday at 2, and then Tuesday at 9 p.m., and then a day off Wednesday. Anyways, only spirituality will save this world. It's Paramount, definitely born for the apocalypse. And the ascension, everyone have a blessed day, and be grateful.